Hi, welcome again to another tutorial, and this time we're going to talk about some things that we can do in Microsoft Excel. Now, as you can see on the screen, we have an example document that you could be able to do some modification and edit. And for this particular session in Microsoft Excel, we're going to do three things. Number one is formatting of text. Number two is entering data. Number three is entering formulas. And number four, entering an if function. Okay, so again, it's gonna be format text, enter data, enter formula, and enter an if function, which is actually what we do in programming, but now we're going to apply it in Microsoft Excel. It's a conditional statement that can give you an output depending on the input. Okay, so first we're going to have the formatting of text. Now the spreadsheet that you see here, okay, is we have an example budget sheet for the semester, and then we have some figures here, expenses, tuition, and as you can see, there are still so many things that we need to do so that this would look better and would actually have better figures. Okay, so to start with is we need to format the title in the spreadsheet, which is the budget sheet for the semester, and that is how we do that by clicking on the cell where that particular text belongs to, which is cell B1. Okay, well, the question is, why do we call it B1? Because this is column B and row 1, and this is can be seen rather in the name box here. Okay, so what we do now is we click on B1, and then click home tab at the top of the page. Here we have already clicked this, so if you had it in some other tabs here, you click on home, and then next is we change the font, the style, and the color and the alignment of the entries. Okay, so what we do now is we're going to select B1 and then change the color to red, and that is we can do it here. And next is we change the font size into 16. Click on this, and then we also change the this one. You need to put it bold. Usually that's what we do with titles. Okay, we make it bold. For most formatting needs, the quick toolbars which we have here on top will already be enough. Okay, however, more detailed and thorough list of the available formatting options is available in recent versions of Microsoft Excel, like for example what we're using right now, which is Microsoft Excel 2016. Okay, by clicking on the small arrow in the bottom right of the font toolbar, which is this one. Okay, this small arrow, font controls. You can actually do Control Shift F as a shortcut key, but let's just click this so you can see the dialog box. Okay, so let's make use of this formatting window to continue modifying the column headers. This is the column header. Okay, as we have here the expenses September. Okay, those are column headers, so we select A3 to F3s. Okay, so I'm just gonna click this. Okay, that's A3 to F3. A3 to F3. So We highlight that, then open the formatting window which we had last time, this one. We click on bold and the size is 12. Click on bold and the size is 12. Okay, and okay, let's kick this up another notch by doing an even simpler format of all the column A cells. Okay, so let's click this OK. Okay, so this is column A. Okay, at the top of the spreadsheet, let's click this. Now use the formatting toolbar to make all that column bold and 12 point size also. So let's do this again here, and then we need to make it bold and then size 12 again, size 12, and then let's press OK. Okay, so there's a problem that may not be obvious at first. The problem is that column A is not wide enough for all of the labels in its cells. To solve this problem, we will adjust the width of the column. To do this, you need to position your cursor over the boundary between A and column B, this one here, A and B. So you position it here, okay, over the boundaries between A and B, and wait till you see the little adjust icon appear, which is this, that left right. Drag the cursor to the right until all of the labels in the column A cells are visible. So we drag it to the right until here, until it's all visible. Okay, so everything is visible already. Okay, so next step is now just one more formatting task for the labels. We highlight B3 to F3. Where's that? B3 to F3. Okay, B3 to F3, and then click on the right align button from the side set of the alignment. Click on the right align button, this one. Okay, we click on the right align button on from the set of the alignment buttons on the alignment bar, which is this. Okay, there you go. Okay, by the way, I forgot to mention that this file is actually available in this tutorial. I will be providing the link below also. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention about that. Okay, so that we can work on with this faster and easier. Okay, so okay, so we're done now with formatting the text. What we did was just formatting. Now we're going to enter data. Okay, so most of the data of this spreadsheet has already been entered. Okay, there are just a few more entries to make, and then you can tap into the power of Microsoft Spreadsheet software to help you complete the rest of this budget worksheet. Okay, to enter the monthly income for September, select, okay, for September, this one here, this column. Okay, we select B15. Where's B15? B15 here, this one. Okay, let me just make this a little bit smaller so that we can at least view the whole spreadsheet. Okay, so we select B15 and then type the number 2,700 and press enter key. Okay, so don't worry about getting in the dollar signs, commas, and periods just yet. Okay, to enter a monthly income for October, select the next cell. Okay, select the next cell, C15, and then type the number 700. Okay, 700, and press enter key. Now the rest of the monthly incomes can all be set to the same as October. So the easy way to do this is click on October income. Okay, this one, because we have the same income here. Okay, click on the October income, drag right to the highlight to highlight the November and December incomes. Okay, drag right to the highlight the November and October incomes. So let's do this like this. Okay, and then under editing toolbar, okay, under editing toolbar, okay, under editing toolbar, we can, okay, like this, and then we click on fill. Okay, a shorter way of doing that is actually using the arrow. I'm sorry, this very small, let me just make this bigger here. Okay, this is very small on the right. Okay, bottom right of selected. Okay, let's have this, let's select first the 700, and then here what we do now is just drag it to the right there. Okay, so what it actually did was copy, okay, the content of whatever is selected. Okay, and then before proceeding, you should format the spreadsheet to be understood as a currency. To do this, we highlight all the cells that will contain dollar values, which is B5 to F17. Okay, so B5 to F17 here. Okay, B5 to F17, we highlight that. Right click on these cells and then select the format cells option from the drop down menu. We need to make this into a dollar currency. Okay, and our format cells, and then number, and then currency, and then we'll choose the dollar sign. Okay, this one, symbol. And then by any other if you want other currencies, you can actually select it here. So let's just choose the one that we are in our example here. We're going to use the English United States. Okay, English United States. Okay, make sure that negative numbers will be displayed in the red and that numbers will appear to 2 decimal places. Click OK now, and now your spreadsheet will include dollar signs. So let's click on the negative, let's click on, we have to make sure that negative numbers will be displayed in red. Okay, instead of having it as negative, let's have it red. Okay, and then press OK. There you go. So it's now in red, and we now have the dollar signs. So that means when we have the total here, we'll also actually have the values in dollar. Let's say, let's try to type 5. It's gonna be in 5 because we have set these particular cells into currency, which is dollar. So if you want to revert it back, you right click on it again and then format cells, and then you can do the under category. If you want to get rid of the dollar sign, you can click on text or any other format depending on what you need. Okay, so we're now done with the first two, which is formatting text, entering data, and now we're going to what we're going to do is enter formulas. Okay, so when you talk about formulas, the most important symbol or key in the keyboard that you use is the equal sign. Otherwise, it won't be a formula. Okay, so just a note, don't forget to use the equal sign before entering a formula. Okay, the letters do not need to be, and the letters do not need to be in capital letters. Okay, so it can be small letters. It's not case sensitive. Okay, the first formula that will go into cell F5, okay, is this one, cell F5. Okay, cell F5, and then select that cell and enter the following formula: equal sign. So let's do the equal sign, sum, open parenthesis, and then the range, which is B5 to E5, B5 colon to E5. Okay, as you can see, after typing that, automatically the range will be selected. Press enter to signal that you have completed the formula. There, so automatically we have the 1300. Now we use the fill function to replicate that formula down the column to F11. So we don't have to input that one by one here. What we can do is we can actually just use the fill function, or what we did last time, we pulled this small box at the bottom right of the selected cell and then pull it wherever you want to go. So that means automatically those cells will also have formulas. So if you click this, as you can see, you have this sum D6 to E6, and then this one sum D7 to E7, and so on and so forth. So that's what makes Microsoft Excel powerful. Just by doing that, you don't have to input all the formulas all throughout the cells. All throughout those selected cells that you need to have some formula. The second formula will go on B13. Select that cell and enter the following formula: B13, B, and then 13 here. Okay, so we type the formula equals, of course, sum, open parenthesis, we're going to select the range, which is B5 to B11, B5 to E11. I'm sorry, B11. Let me just change that, B5 to B11. There. Okay, so automatically we have that. Once again, we use the fill function to replicate this formula across E13. Okay, so where's E13? Here, E13. So click this and then we pull this to the right, and then we have that there. To enter the formula for the September monthly balance, we select B17. Okay, so B17, this is what we're now going to do, is the September it's a monthly balance. Okay, and enter the following formula, which is B15 minus B13 equal sign B15 minus B13. Okay, so 2,700 minus 2,230. Okay, so we have the 470. Okay, so the next formula builds on to that somewhat, because you want to include the balance from the previous month in your calculation. Okay, so select cell C17 and enter the formula. C equals sign, open parenthesis, C15 C15 minus C13, close parenthesis. Okay, and then whatever the answer for that will now be added to B17. Okay, so as you can see, it went from September to October. So we're going to get the previous a balance, okay, of the previous month. So October minus September, and then press enter. So we have this formula already. Okay, we're going to use it up to E17, up to here, up to December. So we don't have to input because we already have this formula. All we have to do is just to fill it here. So click on this again, we pull it up to E17. So there, like that. Let's check the formula. If it's to check, you double click there. So that means this is the cells that are affected. Be careful not to click on others. You just press the escape key on your keyboard again for this. There. Okay, so we did the right thing. So to avoid changing the formula, just press escape key on your keyboard. Okay, so finally, as a last test of previous modification, change the value in D11 from 100 to 600. Okay, so let's try to change the value in D11, which is this 100 to 600. If you adjusted this currency settings properly as detailed in the previous section, you will notice that the monthly balance for November is now displayed in red. Okay, if this does not occur, we need to go back to step number 2. Okay, let's try to change it first from 100 to 600. There. Okay, so because if you remember, we set when we highlighted this and then right click and then format cells, and then we change the currency, and then we selected this. If the number is going to be negative, it's going to turn red. That's why we have this value here. Okay, this means that this is negative. Okay, based on our formula, which is D15, this one, minus D13, this one, plus C17. Okay, that is why we have the negative value. Okay, so from there we have tested that what we did was actually correct. Okay, so let's have it that way, and let's proceed now. So we're done with the first three, and lastly we have the fourth let's review. We did the formatting text, we did the entering of data, and then we did the entering of formula. Now we're going to use the conditional statement, which is the if statement. Okay, so in a row below the monthly balance row, okay, we will be creating a series of functions that will indicate whether the current balance is okay or if it is overdrawn. Okay, so to do this, we will be learning about the if function. First, we need to select B18 by clicking on it, this one, and then select the formulas tab at the top of the screen, then click on insert function. Okay, formulas, and then we click on the insert function here, dfx. Okay, click on that and then scroll through the available functions until we find the if function. Okay, so if you can see here, there are other formulas, and what we're going to use now is the if function. Click on the if, then click OK. Okay, now we see this. We have logical test, if logical test, value if true, value if false. Okay, so this window will open the requirements of the if function. These are what we call arguments to the function. Specify that logical test as B17 is greater or equal to 0. Okay, so if the true box, we type OK. If false, we type the overdrawn. Okay, so the function arguments with okay, let's type that here. So B17 is greater or equals to 0. There. Okay, so true, and then value if true, we put the text OK. So we put this the quotation, double quotation. Okay, don't forget to do that. And then if false, overdrawn. We're going to type the text overdrawn. Okay, overdrawn, and it should actually look like this. And as you can see, when we type that here, we also have the equivalent here. Okay, so if you're actually mastered the art of using function arguments, you can actually just type it directly on the formula bar. Now we click now OK, and you can also insert an if function manually using the okay, as I've mentioned earlier, the equivalent. Okay, if you've already mastered the art of using functions, you can just type it directly. Okay, so just as with the previous formulas, we use fill to replicate the if function across the row from B18 to E18. So we're going to use again the fill. Okay, so from here up to here. Okay, so we just drag this there. Okay, so notice, okay, notice the 17 and 18 in particular. You should see a negative value in red. Okay, in D17. Okay, just below that you should see the word overdrawn. Let's just try to a little bit, because we type it all caps, so it went to the other, or we could just move this. Let's have enough space. Okay, there. Okay, don't worry about those green things here. It's just a warning in case that we actually don't know what we're doing. Excel is just telling us that this is this and that is that. Okay, so if you click on this, okay, unprotected formula lock cell, but we don't really need to do that yet. Okay, so this is just basic using of formula, so you don't have to worry about those green things on the upper left portion of your cell. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, so as you can see, this is okay. All of the other balances you have here, the overdrawn. Okay, because this is a negative value, that's why it's overdrawn. Okay, let's put this so it would look actually better there. Okay, so this is overdrawn because this is negative. All other balances are fine, so the word okay appears beneath them. Okay, and this results because of the if function, because this is less than 10 as mentioned. If the 17 is greater than or equal to 0, it's okay, but otherwise if it goes down to 0, the text overdrawn will be displayed. Okay, so now that you have finished editing your spreadsheet, it should actually look like this. Okay, so this is our finished product. If you follow the steps correctly, this is what you should actually see. And then if this is what this is your output, you have done the exercise correctly and you have a perfect score for this particular exercise. Okay, so I hope that you've learned something out of this. Basically, just a run through of what we did was we first was we formatted the text. Okay, and then we changed the we inputted data. Okay, and then one of the very most important part of this activity is learning how to enter formulas, which would really come in handy, especially if you're dealing with numbers. And then finally is we use the conditional statement, which we use in programming subjects, the if function. Okay, which would really also would really come in handy. Okay, for you to be able to have like a summary of or depending on how you actually are using the conditional if statement. Okay, so thank you so much guys for listening, and hope you learned from this. Thanks and bye.